Well, it's the video you guys have been waiting for. I'm willing to bet. At least for my Bravely Second viewers out there. Anyways, behold my Bravely Second team setup. So this is a video that I've been wanting to do for a while, and a video I'm pretty sure most of you wanted to see, considering how my video for my team setup in default is my most popular to date. Thank you for that, by the way. This will be my usual setup that I prefer to use in Bravely Second, mostly for just fighting bosses and such. It's very well rounded and can pretty much do whatever you need it to do. So, without further delay, I give you my Bravely Second team build. First up, we have our trusty Cavalier, Yu. Yu is my healer, and with the Wizard as his main job and the Bishop as his side command. The abilities Yu has are only 3, but they work wonders as a magic setup. Groupcast Master, Groupcast All, and Steady MP Recover. I have my own setup of items, but one I would recommend would definitely be the Gold Hairpin, which decreases MP usage by 25%. So why would I have an attacking magic class as my main job for a healer? Why, for the ability that comes with it, of course. Spellcraft allows you to change the way a spell acts. I think some of you might know where this is going, but for those of you who don't, let me explain. The Bishop class in Bravely Second is like Victor and Holly had a baby and created Nikolai, the greatest healer of all time. The Bishop's healing spells under Holy Magic don't require an amazing mind stat or anything, because the spells heal whole percents that don't change. 30%, 50%, and 100% of the target's maximum HP. Benediction is the spell that heals 100%. It costs 24 MP normally, and heals just once on the cast, of course. However, if you combine Benediction with Mist from the Spellcraft ability, which adds another 30 MP to the cost, at the end of each turn, your team is fully healed for 4 turns in a row. 54 MP for 4 full heals in only 1 cast. And the spell is not decreased in power thanks to Groupcast Master, and you could even do multiple resurrects across your team still at max power because you have Groupcast All on, which allows you to use spells that are usually single target as a group cast in 1 cast. Plus, the cost is decreased by 25% thanks to the Gold Hairpin, so the Benediction Mist actually only costs 41 MP. Plus, still, Bishop has Calm, this game's version of Stillness, which is literally half of everything for that ability from default. Cost is 1 BP, and all damage is nullified for 1 turn. And with the Steady MP Recover, you get 30 MP back at each turn's end, along with a full heal. If you're not sold by now, there's still lots of other things this healer setup can do, like including the small damage magic that if you need it, you can use it, so go and try it out for yourself. But the simple breakdown, you can group cast all spells at maximum power, have passive healing at the end of your turns, and nullify damage for a turn of safety, all for very low costs. Best healer ever. Good job, you. Next in our lineup is Idia. Her role is quite similar to what I had her set up as in my default team. In second, I have her as a ninja with pirate commands. Abilities include Quad Wield, Axe Lore, Steady MP Recover, and Frenetic Fighting, with Dual Wield included from the ninja job. So one of the new jobs, the Charioteer, allows you to equip more than 2 weapons to a character. With Quad Wield, I can equip 3 axes and 1 katana to Edea. The reason for having a katana is so I can have 2 different types of specials available to me. If you want maximum physical attack though, go with all axes. With Axe Lore, this damage is increased even higher still, and they've increased even still higher with the Dual Wield, and Frenetic Fighting increases the amount of hits Edea can land in an attack from 16 to 32. So just like in default, Idea's job is to enfeeble the enemy, meaning to weaken their stats like attack and defense while hitting them with hard smashing attacks like Shell Split, Skull Bash, Defang, and a few others. With Quad Wield, the smashes deal even more damage still, which usually ends up as max damage 9,999. So, hit whatever boss you're fighting with a Shell Split to lower their physical defense to 75%, and then follow up with a double damage to hit for max. Shipu Jinrai? I think I'm saying that right? from the ninja job is also great for getting in that first hit. And then there's also Impairments, which will reverse the effect of all buffs and debuffs. So say you've got one of those bosses that like stack 200 times more damage than you, use it to turn it around on them, but don't ruin your own buffs either. This setup is kind of like an anti-support where instead of buffing your allies, you debuff the enemy. Kind of cool. However, there is an obvious downside to this character, and that would be because of the extra weapons. Idia has a very low defense due to the lack of armor, so you got to keep an eye on her and try and make sure you heal her quite a bit. But other than that, she can hit pretty hard. Alright, Magnolia is probably my favorite character, Bravely second from the team, and not just actually character-wise, but stat-wise too. So I made her my other copy class from default. I know, I'm lazy, I don't try new things, but that's because I already know this works. Anyways, Magnolia is my new monk with Dark Knight commands. Abilities for her are HP 20% up, Dawn of Odyssey, Fortitude, BP limit up, and once again, steady MP recover. I have the Brave suit equipped, which gives Magnolia 1 BP right at the start of a battle, and Ribbon, which nullifies all status ailments, so she can't be affected by poison, blindness, any of that junk. If you already know how this works, good for you, but if you haven't seen my Bravely default team setup video, here's how it works. Since she's a monk with the 20% extra HP, Magnolia will at least have, or should have an amount over the damage cap of health, 99.99. Magnolia will default and gain BP with every hit she takes thanks to Fortitude. Then she'll Brave out, use Phoenix Flight to spend all of her HP, leaving her with 1 point left, and dealing damage equal to her HP given up, aka the max damage. Then you spin Minus Strike to deal max damage 3 more times. This damage is completely pure and unaffected by defense, so you can knock a boss down by about 40k each damage cycle. And if she doesn't die because of 1 HP she's left with, the Benediction Mist will get her back up, ready to do it all over again. The only weakness of this, as I just said, is that Magnolia can be killed fairly often, but otherwise this is one of the best kinds of consistent damage that you can do in the game. As far as her abilities, Fortitude give her 1 BP for every attack that hits her while she's defaulting, as I said, and Dawn of Odyssey is kind of like Hasten World from default, where every ally and enemy gains 1 BP every 4 turns. And with BP limit up, she can hold 4 BP instead of 3, so you can get back to damaging the enemy even faster and keep hitting more. A great build, if I do say so myself. And lastly, we come to the returning miracle, Tiz Warrior. So for Tiz, I have him as my support character as an exorcist with astral magic commands. His abilities, well, you start off with steady MP recover again, and on the other ones we got limit breaker, prolonged support, BP limit up, and fortitude. Exorcist is like a limited but really overpowered support healer class. Undo HP can send Magnolia back up to max after she does her damage cycle, and even bring her back from death to maximum HP. Undo action can protect someone from one enemy move, so maybe Idia, and undo BP can even help get Idia or Magnolia back up in BP to deal damage on the turn right after her last damage cycle. And Astral Magic can just be spammed like crazy to build up an incredibly powerful Bravely second move that deals over 100,000 damage in one go. Now, Tiz's abilities go a long way in helping his team. Limit Breaker allows you to increase the maximum limit for boosting stats, and Prolonged Support will make them last twice as long. With Fortitude and BP limit up, like Magnolia, Tiz can gain BP very quickly to back up his teammates, and well, you already know what Steady MP Recover does. Freelancer is not on this list because Examine is no longer needed because of the magnifying glass item you can use to scan an enemy now. So just level up your moon-based munition shop to level 2 and go get some today. But all in all, Tiz is there on the side to get everybody else back up and ready to go again with his great resetting abilities and items to boot. I also just really like Geist. Alright, so now that we've got the team down, Here's how they would work in battle. At the start, default the team twice, and afterwards, Magnolia should probably be at about 3 or 4 BP by now. You cast a Benediction Mist over the team, Idia defaults, while Magnolia goes Phoenix Striking, and Tiz undoes Magnolia's HP, and perhaps her BP if you want it to. Then, get Idia and Magnolia to strike together, enfeebling the enemy and dealing even more damage, and have Tiz ready with undo action and HP on the side. He just kinda sits on the side and keeps casting Benediction every 4 turns, or Resurrect across all allies if anyone falls. And if the team needs a turn to catch their break, you can cast Calm, which takes effect at the start of the turn automatically and nullifies all damage, allowing you to default and heal up. Then just keep repeating and voila, as Magnolia would say. Now this probably isn't the 100% most effective team that can be built. Trust me, I can imagine and have made even stronger but dirtier and greasier setups that you could make. Just kinda cheaty things. But this is just the team that I enjoy using the most, and it's fun because they actually require a bit more skill than just jumping or reflecting enemy attacks 24/7. Not that those aren't bad, they're just too easy in my opinion. Now I have ideas for other setups to try out and make videos on what I think of them, but if you guys have any ideas on what you'd like to see, give me a comment and I'll try it out. I have all the classes maxed. But that's all for this video. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this video has helped you out and giving you ideas on how to build up your team, and I'll see you soon.